Hi, I'm Nikki from Savvy Gardening, and today I want to talk about when to start vegetable seeds indoors. Understanding timing is important because proper timing helps ensure your seedlings have reached the ideal growth stage when it's time to transplant them outdoors. Seedlings that are too small, or on the other hand, over mature, can struggle. In this video, you'll learn which types of vegetable seeds are started indoors and how to calculate the best timing for seed sowing. It may seem like a good idea to give your vegetable plants an extra early start so that you can transplant larger and more mature seedlings outdoors. This, however, isn't the case, as the plants quickly outgrow their indoor spaces as well as their cell packs or pots, and it's a hassle to repot seedlings into bigger containers every couple of weeks. The other issue is that over-mature seedlings don't transplant well and never live up to their yield potential. This is especially true if the plants, in the case of cucumbers and tomatoes, have begun to flower and fruit. On the other hand, if you wait too long to start your vegetable seeds inside, this can also cause problems. Trying to rush very immature seedlings into the garden leaves the tiny plants vulnerable to pests and weather fluctuations. You can also expect a delayed harvest, and if you live in a short season climate like mine, this may impact overall production. Now that we understand more about why it's essential to follow proper indoor sowing dates, let's look at which types of vegetable seeds should be started indoors. The crops most often started indoors are the long season vegetables, like celery and onions, that take many weeks to grow large enough for transplanting. Or the warm season crops, like tomatoes and peppers, that need an indoor start time when grown in short season climates. The vegetables I don't start inside include most root crops, as well as fast growing vegetables like beans, peas, and arugula. Most don't transplant well, and they just don't need that extra time indoors. Finally, there are vegetables like beets, cabbage, cucumbers, and squash that you can direct seed outside or start indoors. In many cases, there are benefits to giving these seeds a head start inside. I find direct seeding broccoli and cabbage in my garden is risky, as slugs and other pests often devour the just sprouted seedlings. Giving them that jump start inside helps me set out strong seedlings that settle in nicely. There are a few ways to figure out when to start vegetable seeds indoors. But before you get started, you need to know the number of weeks of indoor growth needed for the vegetables you want to grow and your last expected spring frost date. Once you have these two pieces of information, you can use them to calculate seed sowing. To find out the number of indoor grow weeks, read your seed packet or seed catalog, reference a planting calendar, and you can find one on Savvy Gardening in our article on when to start vegetable seeds indoors, or finally check out a good book, like my best-selling books, The Year-Round Vegetable Gardener and Growing Under Cover. Most of the vegetable seedlings you start inside need to be transplanted outdoors around the last frost date. Therefore, use this date to calculate when to sow your seeds inside. For example, to figure out when to start jalapeno pepper seeds indoors, I'll look at the seed packet, which tells me they need 8 to 10 weeks of indoor growth. I'll then count 8 to 10 weeks backwards from the last frost date and start them then. It's easy once you understand how to calculate the indoor sow date. I hope you found this video helpful. Be sure to visit the article on Savvy Gardening, When to Start Vegetable Seeds Indoors, to reference our handy seed starting chart. Happy growing!